today by Teddy Pickles, who is my co-host, our mascot, and freezing cold because it is very chilly here in Baltimore today, and she doesn't want to sit anywhere but on my lap. So you're going to hear some snorts and some grunts and some snores, but pug life. So today we are talking Podfest, new features, and workshops. So let's start workshop first. Today is Thursday the 9th, January 9th. And at noon Eastern, we have our first PodOps workshop of the new year. It is going to be presented by Ty King. He is the co-founder of the Arkansas Podcasters Collective. It's going to be a great workshop. I'm really looking forward to it. He's presenting on how podcasters can get grants. So I think that's going to be really interesting for everybody. We've had a lot of interest in it. There are nearly 80 people registered, so we max out at 100, so a few spots are left. If you do want to register, there's still time. We keep registration open till 11:30 a.m., so 30 minutes prior. If you go to thepodops.com/training, you can register for that event, and we will see you then. Other things on the agenda. Next week is Podfest. So if you are going to be in Orlando and you're going to be joining us, we will have a booth at Podfest. This is our very first time attending. We're really excited. Not only because it's going to be in Florida, where it is much warmer than it is here in the Mid-Atlantic region, but also because it is an indie podcaster event. So these are our main creators that we work with, or we want to work with, I should say. So we're very excited for that. If you come by our booth, which will be booth 40, I'm assuming they're somehow labeled since they keep promoting those numbers very heavily to us and to all of you who are attending. We will have swag as always. We love handing out free swag, not just because we can, but because I think if you go to a conference, you put in all that effort, you should get some good stuff. So I hate when people just give me crap. I don't want a pen. I don't want a pencil. I want something good. So I promise we have really good swag, things you can use. One of my favorite things we have is very handy. I will tell you that it provides connectors to almost everything and is travel size. So that's the most I'll tell you about it. You have to come be on site to see it and to get it, but it's free. You will also be able to vote on the 2025 podcasts or PodOps podcast shirt design that will unveil later this year. So we have 6 designs for everyone to look at and cast their vote on. So this is the first year that we're opening it up to the community to help us make that decision. Teddy Pickles, who is kind of slumping down, there we go. She is still the star of the t-shirt, but we've come up with some really unique looks and designs that keep it in that psychedelic look. If you have one of our shirts, you definitely know what I'm talking about. So the first year was kind of the big green 3-eyed pug. And then this past year, that was 23, 24 was the kind of paintball splatter pug faces all over the place. So we'd like to have a lot of fun with that. We also will have a handout that is going to be going up on our website that you'll be able to download for free, but we'll be presenting it for free for the first time at Podfest. And it will give you information and a checklist on how PodOps Connect users have been leveraging email and text messaging to see, on average, a 300% return in engagement. So we took all of our active users, we've calculated the data since the beginning of PodOps Connect being active through January 5th. So very recent data. This is up to date. We also looked at, click rates, open rates, which are significantly above industry standards. And we're sharing some of those tips and secrets with, well, they're not secrets, they're just tips and things you should do. But they're secret until you get the sheet. And again, we want you to stop by our booth. So in order to get you there, it's a secret until you stop by. And we will put it up on our website after the conference because we want to share that information with our community. And then last but not least, new features. So when I'm trying to think of the company's name, my mind is drawing a blank. Last year, over the summer, there was a podcast hosting platform that went out of business. And I, as a part of some of my podcasting groups on Facebook, I was talking to other podcasters on, what features they really loved about that platform. And that platform, similar to PodOps, was not just a hosting platform. They were also a content creation platform. So as we expand and add new features for our users, the focus is not solely on, just adding podcast components. Of course, we always want to enrich that. That's why we updated our players recently. And that's why we'll be updating our websites for our users. That's in progress right now. But we want to add features that let you do more. And one of the features that I was consistently told in the Facebook group that people loved was the AI blog. And that kind of struck me as unusual for podcasters. I don't really think of blogging and podcasting as going together. I think of sort of my journey where I used to be a blogger and then I evolved into a podcaster. So I was thinking of it as this linear journey where you were one, then you're the other. And that's definitely not the case. As I talk to people, they are using blogs to build out the SEO components of their sites and build out their authority ranking on Google and Yahoo and Bing and other search engines. So having the ability to have an AI tool help them write content, even if they're then tweaking it to make it truly their own, it's giving them those first drafts to help them accelerate the process when they're already very strapped for time. So we've spent the last few months building that out. We're in final beta testing this week. I believe if everything goes to plan, we will have this into production late this week, early next week, but it will be out by the time we get to the conference. So I'm very excited for that. I think that's going to be a great addition. Similar to Connect and Studio, the way that we have built that out, you do not have to have a podcast on our platform to utilize it. It acts independently. So you will be able to do, pretty much all of the blog components. And then if you want to do podcasting, you can do podcasting as well, or you can use it with your podcast. We are integrating it into the podcast websites so that you'll kind of be able to move back and forth where your listeners can listen to your podcast if they're on the PodOps site, or they can view your blogs and go back and forth between them. So we're trying to make that as convenient as possible. And then we'll be looking at some WordPress and other integrations to help you feed that content into your own sites, which we know many of you have. And then as we look forward to what we're working on next, in February, we're releasing a really big update for Connect. We've partnered with a new organization, and so we're doing a lot of restructuring with the data to improve the analytics, to improve the backend speed, deliverability, functionality, and then we're bringing MMS to the platform. So today we have SMS, which is just traditional text messaging. MMS, what that is when you're sending GIFs and true graphics through the platform. So going well beyond just the emojis that we have today, and that's going to be out in early February. I think the date is February 7th for production. So we're already well into that, and it is coming along really quickly. So I'm very excited for all of the things that are in the motion. As I said, don't forget, join us today at noon Eastern. Go to thepodops.com/training if you're not already registered. If you are registered, you should have received an email with the link. If not, just go to the website. You'll be able to click to view at that same address, thepodops.com/training. And then we hope to see everybody at Podfest. If you're not able to make it, no problem. As I mentioned, after the event, we will have that handout regarding the tips and tricks for email and text messaging up on our website for download. And give Teddy one last chance to get some screen time. I don't think she cares right now, but she is adorable. So happy creating. Thank you all for tuning in, and I will talk to you next week.